How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to show you what it's like to drive the all-new 2026 Cadillac Escalade V from a first-person point of view. But first, I've got to show you one of the coolest features I have ever seen in any car. We've got a 55-inch curved display broken into 3 segments: the instrument cluster, the multimedia screen, and the passenger display. So the passenger can actually watch YouTube, Hulu, browse the internet from the passenger seat. Now, if I'm in park, I can actually view what he's seeing. But how cool is this? If we put the car into drive, using an electronic polarizer, that screen goes blank from my angle, but he can actually still see the content while we're driving on the road. How nuts is that? The highlight of the Escalade V is what's under the hood. We have a hand-built 6.2-liter supercharged V8 making 682 horsepower and 653 pound-feet of torque. That's good to sprint the Escalade V from 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds, and it creates one of the best exhaust note, if not the best exhaust note, in any SUV of all time. The new Escalade V is an incredibly handsome car, and look at how cool this new lighting feature is for 2026. We have this waterfall-style LED daytime running light show that appears anytime you approach the vehicle and it unlocks itself. We also have an illuminated Cadillac badge, and if you'll notice, the grille has been enlarged with little V's to signify that this is, in fact, an Escalade V. Coming around to the side, we have standard 24-inch wheels, which don't actually look too big. They look fantastic on this thing. We have massive Brembo brakes, 16.1-inch rotors to slow it down. I love that massive V badge. Now, this is actually available, if it's not big enough for you, in an ESV version, a stretched, extended version of the Escalade V. Coming around to the back, how cool are these exhaust tips? This thing sounds absolutely insane. And if we pop the trunk, we've got tons of storage space as well. Trunk automatically opens up, and we've got a foldable third row, so you can have additional storage room as well. But the real magic happens on the inside. So let's start with this gorgeous executive second row seating experience. How nice is this? We are in the back seat of the Escalade V. You have tons of headroom and legroom. You have these massive displays in front of you to watch Disney+, Hulu, or YouTube. If you come to this center display right here, you've got heated controls, ventilated controls, and massaging functionality in the rear of the vehicle, which is really, really awesome. They also give you these gorgeous AKG Cadillac headphones, so you can watch in silence in the backseat environment. You also have 2 cup holders right here, USB-C, dual wireless charging ports, and if you open this up and you push on this, outfold airline style tray tables so that you can eat and get work done. How awesome is that? Look at that. Now I've found myself in the third row, which gives you a tremendous view of all the displays, and I still have legroom, headroom, Alcantara everywhere, my own USB-C ports, cup holders back here as well. It's actually a nice place to be, even if you are a full-sized adult. But look at all of that technology up there. Now let's go ahead and hop into the front seat. These seats are some of the most comfortable I have ever experienced in my entire life, and the design language is gorgeous. Look at all of the details. The carbon fiber trim looks so nice, the metallic door release lever. We even have a little Cadillac insignia on the side of the dashboard. Let's climb in. Once again, we are greeted by that glorious 55-inch display. The graphics are absolutely fantastic, and it makes this interior feel even more upscale than the old one did. Now, we've got all of our climate controls down here. You've got massaging, heated, and ventilated seats. So if we go over to massage right here, my favorite setting is relief. It actually is really strong and provides some good relief, which is pretty cool. The leather-wrapped steering wheel feels fantastic. We've got an LED indicator we'll show later on for Super Cruise. We've got paddles mounted for that 10-speed automatic transmission. Drive mode selector right here. If we click that button, you'll see you can switch between Tour, Sport, Snow and Ice, Tow Haul, My Mode, etc. Now, one of my favorite buttons on the car is this V mode button. It's fully customizable. You can click it and then boom, you are instantaneously in your favorite driving mode. We've got a digital instrument cluster here. Interestingly enough, it is facing away from the driver, so it takes a little bit to get used to, but I have grown to like it. I love the carbon fiber trim throughout the entire interior. This thing feels so premium. Massive amounts of storage right here, cup holders, wireless charger right here. Now check this out. If we open this up, this is actually a refrigerator with different temperatures to choose from, which is pretty awesome. USB and USB-C. We also have additional storage space right here. To open up the glove box, we actually have a button on the screen itself. It's this button right here. We've got a very large glove box as well. As you can see, tons of different apps to choose from, ambient lighting options as well, 124 different colors, which is really nice. Go over to vehicle status. We've got a series of gauges, which are pretty cool as well. Now for audiophiles, we have an optional 42 speaker AKG speaker system. The speakers are literally throughout the entire interior, even on the headrest, the roof, down here, and it sounds absolutely insane. It has some of the best bass I have ever heard. It vibrates your soul in the best way possible. Behind the wheel of the all-new Escalade V now, and it rides unbelievably well. In tour mode, which we are in right now, the suspension is so soft. All of the controls and inputs are refined. It's such an easy vehicle to drive. And despite its size, it doesn't feel overwhelming or intimidating behind the wheel whatsoever. It honestly makes you feel comfortable immediately. Not sure whether that's the brilliant massaging seats or the suspension or a combination of all of the above, but don't worry if you're afraid to drive a bigger 3-row SUV. It's not a problem whatsoever. Now let's go ahead and change the driving mode via a button here on the left of the steering wheel. We are in sport mode right now. It makes the exhaust a little bit louder, the suspension tightened up a bit, but my favorite mode is this button right here, V mode, which is fully customizable. So I've got the suspension left in tour mode, same with the steering, but the engine sound and the transmission are all in the highest performance mode possible. That way we can activate the paddles on that 10-speed automatic transmission, and I can't wait to show you what the full throttle shifts sound like. Listen to the shift sound. It sounds like a rifle going off in between shifts, and I absolutely love it. Just listen to this thing for a second. Now, obviously, this is not a sports car by any means, but for how large it is actually is relatively capable in the twisty roads. And it's got so much torque and horsepower to play with. And because it's all-wheel drive, 682 horsepower is never a problem. You can put the power down at any point in time. Really, the only issue with this entire car is that the fuel tank isn't big enough, because it sounds so good. You're gonna be accelerating and slowing down and accelerating so often just to hear that soundtrack that you do run out of fuel pretty quickly. But man, other than that, this thing is an absolute dream to drive. The steering feel is nice as well. It's got a good weight to it. GM has been doing such a good job with their performance vehicles, and I'm curious, imagine if they made a Blackwing version of this car. The V series is the performance series, and then the Blackwing is the no-holds-barred track-focused version. Imagine if they made a 2-seater Escalade V with no seats in the back. I'm obviously partially joking, but that would be pretty darn cool. The brakes are relatively confidence-inspiring. I mean, it is a heavy vehicle, but it's not under-braked by any means. We have those massive 16.1-inch rotors with Brembo calipers. You just have to remember, if you are on a back road, that you're not in a CT5V Blackwing. You are in an Escalade V. How about some more exhaust notes, shall we? This thing is too good. I just love the full throttle upshift noises. All right, how about a little launch control, shall we? One of my favorite parts about this car is how easy it is to put it into launch control. So if we're in V mode, let's go ahead and press and hold to put it into drive. You floor the brake, you floor the accelerator, and then up on the screen, you've got a 0 to 60 timer. We'll do another one on a flat surface. That was obviously way uphill. You can get much faster than that. But 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds, according to Cadillac. I've gotten in the low 4s, so let's run that back right now and see what we can get in this thing. Here is another awesome feature of the Escalade V. If we go ahead and put it into V mode, the customizable setting, that you can click on the steering wheel itself. Instantly, you can go into launch control. So you just floor the brake, floor the accelerator, and up on the right, it'll pop up your acceleration statistics. So it'll give us a 0 to 60. Watch this. There we go, 0 to 60, 4.1 seconds. I just think that's such a cool enthusiast feature to every time you pop it into launch control, it tells you your acceleration stats. That is just way too cool. And I mean, listen to this engine. That is way too good. Visibility is phenomenal. You've got a big hood, but it doesn't feel imposing whatsoever. You really can see super, super well. And you've got all of these driver assistance features that I'll show you later on the freeway that make the experience truly awesome. And if you've got kids in the back, we even have a system that amplifies your voice using that 42-speaker AKG system for them to be able to hear you even easier, so you don't have to scream at your kids in the rear seat, which is pretty cool. And the view out over the dash just feels so premium. It's a 55-inch display, which the only larger display in the automotive world is the 56-inch display in the Mercedes EQS. But let's be real, nobody actually likes the EQS, myself included, so this is the largest screen in a vehicle you would actually want to purchase, and seriously want to purchase. This is my favorite SUV, bar none. I genuinely am so in love with this. I'm trying to figure out a way. I just bought a Cadillac, the CT5V Blackwing. I'm trying to find a way to justify why owning an Escalade V and a Blackwing at the same time makes sense. I think I've justified it. I just need to make the CT5V Blackwing so fast that I have to tow it around to tracks, and then I can use this to tow it. See? Perfect. Practical. Now, starting price of $168,000. It isn't exactly cheap, but compared to other vehicles, I mean, I legitimately would rather have this than a Lamborghini Urus that costs twice as much. It's almost as comfortable as a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, which costs 3 times as much. So you are kind of getting good value for the money. I mean, cars these days are getting ridiculously expensive, Range Rovers, etc. But man, I want this so bad. Okay, we're gonna do another launch control because it just sounds too good not to do continuous launch controls. And I love how easy it is. Floor the brake, floor the accelerator, and off we go. There we go, 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds. I am convinced this is the greatest road trip vehicle in the world for a multitude of reasons. The air suspension with the MagneRide control floats over bumps so nicely, you don't get any fatigue whatsoever. Then you can activate the massaging seats down here. Tons of different massage functions to choose from. I really like the relief setting. To further accentuate how comfortable this thing is on long road trips. Now, the Escalade now comes standard with Super Cruise. So if we go ahead and activate Super Cruise via some toggles on the left side of the steering wheel here, all of a sudden we will see a green strip illuminate at the top of the steering wheel, and now we have full hands-free driving. So the Escalade can drive itself down the road. It's getting a little bit confused because of the camera in front of my face. Obviously, it uses this right here to track your eyes to make sure you're paying attention. But without a camera on your head, this thing can go for miles and miles, just driving you down the road super comfortably. And then your passengers have tons of comfort in the back. And then I love the fact that your front seat passenger can be watching Hulu or YouTube while you're driving along. They can be in their own world with their headphones. The passengers back there can be in their own world as well. It's pretty awesome. The only complaint I have about the screen setup is if we put the turn signals on, you can see we've got the blind spot right here. Now that is very nice so that you don't bang up your really expensive $170,000 Escalade V into anyone. But the graphics are actually really lackluster for how high res the screen is. I don't know if you can tell, but it just doesn't look very crisp to me. And I feel like a slightly higher quality camera in a vehicle that's this nice would be cool. But other than that, man, this thing is fantastic. on road trips. The instrument cluster also has some more cool features. If you use this toggle right here on the right side of the steering wheel, you'll see a series of controls will pop up. Let's go over to AR camera, and this will show us, using the front camera, a full view of what's in front of us on the road. I'm kind of trying to figure out what the use case for this is, but I like it. It's nice. Now, if we scroll down, we also have a night vision camera. This is super useful if you're in a very dark area where there's no lights and you need to make sure you don't hit a deer or a coyote or a dog in the road. You've got a night vision camera right here, which is super cool. You have a series of additional cameras as well as trailering options. For the non-ESV version, we have 8,200 pounds of towing capacity, which is actually really good for a supercharged V8 massive 3-row SUV. And then if you have the ESV version, it's 8,000 pounds, which is still plenty, and you've got tons of different settings here to help you with towing. We also have a very nice, super clear heads-up display in front of us. You don't have to look down at the dash whatsoever. I can see the speed limit is 45. I'm currently going 42 miles an hour, and it also has driver assist features up there, letting us know that lane keep assist is active right now. Now, one thing that did take getting used to was the curved display for the instrument cluster portion. It actually is curved away from the driver. So when I first looked at it, I was almost confused, like did they mess up with how they angled the screen? You do get used to it, however, and it does allow for this nice curved display that has a continuous curve and it's not tilted to one side or the other. But initially, I was a bit confused. I've never driven a car, to my knowledge, that has the instrument cluster tilted a bit away from the driver. It's not perfectly facing you. But it's super simplistic. I will say I do wish when you are in V mode or sport mode, it had a little bit more of an aggressive layout to it. This is the Escalade V. It's one of the most ridiculous, if not the most ridiculous SUVs ever created. So I do feel like it needs a little bit more craziness to the instrument cluster, but it is really clean. It gives you all the data you need, and it's honestly not a big deal whatsoever. This engine is just such a masterpiece. And the fact that in 2026, you can still get an SUV with this level of performance, and it's not downsized or hybridized. It's a massive 6.2 liter hand-built supercharged V8 with 682 horsepower. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, honestly. And it sounds really good. Rumors are they made it a little bit quieter for the new generation when they refreshed it, because people were taking it back to the dealer and saying, is my car broken? It's so loud. It doesn't seem that much quieter, honestly, which I'm very thankful for, because the loudness is just part of its charm. But by the way, if you do put it into tour mode, you don't hear that exhaust backfiring whatsoever. But listen to the burbles. Slow down. See, the burbles are random too, which I really like. This thing is awesome. What a machine. I mean, this is the perfect family vehicle. I can picture my girlfriend taking this to work, and then on the weekends, when she doesn't need to use the car, I'm like, hey, I'm actually stealing this. I'm gonna go drive it around just for fun. And then taking this to trips up to Mammoth, to the snow. I mean, it really is a do-everything vehicle, and then you can tow stuff as well. This might be the ultimate all-arounder vehicle of all time in terms of practicality, performance, comfort, style. I love the way it looks too. It's just so imposing on the road and gives you this feeling behind the wheel of just like power and importance. I don't know how to describe it. Obviously, you shouldn't get your self-confidence from the cars you're driving, but it just it really gives you this feeling behind the wheel like I matter, even though this is not even my car. Oh, what an experience. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next time. I'm gonna put the windows down and let you listen to this thing a little bit. ridiculous machine. All right, guys, see you next video.